Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 2015 Master of Financial Engineering Program graduation ceremony, the 14th ceremony to date. I would like to acknowledge our distinguished speaker, Sonny Hafford, our Dean, Richard Lyons, our distinguished faculty members present today, my Haas colleagues from other programs and from the Dean's office, my MFE colleagues, Charles McCutcheon, Aaron Nebres, Christina Henry, Diane Ewan, and Stephanie Montevirgin. I also would like to welcome the alumni who are sitting with us today and acknowledge our loyal industry supporters. Our friend, Gifford Fong, who has given us the opportunity to launch the program in 2000 by contributing seed money to create the MFE lab. I'd like to acknowledge a very good friend of the program since the MFE inception as well, Terry Benchawel, whose vast intellectual support and hiring of our students have tremendously helped the program. There is a group of MFE 2015 who were published just a couple of days ago. They worked with Terry on an industry project. So Alice, Jewu, Mauchi, Rande, and then Monte, Prida, and Wante, please stand up. Thank you. Finally, I'd like to welcome the class of 2015, who comes from 17 different countries, and the families and friends who have supported our students. To the class of 2015, I would like to say that it has been a privilege, not right away, but it's been a privilege to guide you for a year. I am very proud of your accomplishments, your big win at the Rotman International Trading Competition, where the Berkeley MFE team won second prize but beat all of the other US MFE programs in the country under high frequency lab manager and my colleague, Charles McCutcheon. To the MFE 2016, who are also present today because they start the program on Monday, take a note of these students' accomplishments. You follow classes who have won competitions every year, 2002, 2013, 2014, where a team of Berkeley MFE students won first prize and only prize at the International Association of Quantitative Finance, the IAQF case competition in New York. We expect the Berkeley team to win this year again at the end of April. We got used to it. It's unique. There is no other program in the country that scouts the next creative talent and that prepares the students even years before the start of a program. We nurture talent from high school, undergraduate freshmen, sophomores and juniors, all the way to postdocs. I know many alumni actually have children who are in high school. Send them to us, we will transform them. All of the students' achievements would not have been possible without the extraordinary faculty members who teach in the MFE. On Wall Street and outside Wall Street, the Berkeley MFE name is a vastly recognized brand. We keep a very close tie with the industry and the alumni. In fact, our motto is once an MFE, always an MFE, and this is where we stand behind. Year after year, our alumni and current students differentiate themselves from other MFE students in the country. They stand out in the crowd. They transform our future. Some of our alumni are currently launching their own businesses now, at this time, in finance, high tech, And one alum is about to start in just a few months a $500 million options future trading firms in China on his own. The MFE future is exciting. Stay tuned. It is now my honor to introduce our Dean, Dean Richard Lyons, who in 2001 taught in the MFE program, the Equity and Currency Markets course, and he was the first MFE faculty to win the teaching award, the Chaiter Award. Please welcome Dean Richard Lyons.
Thank you, Linda. Let me start with a congratulations to you. You've worked so hard. This is your day. We are all here to celebrate what you have achieved. I want to thank Linda and the team. This is a remarkable team, as you know, the students that have put this program together, and also my finance faculty colleagues. This was a glimmer in our eye some 15 years ago, and it has become a jewel in the crown for this business school, Berkeley Haas. Let me add one comment for the families, for the parents, right? There's no question that these graduates are knowledgeable, but the responsibility of modern business schools goes beyond that, right? And part of that is what sort of values are important to a school? Do we live by those values? Do we drive admissions with those values? What do they look and sound like? Do they matter? I can't imagine that the Haas School could be taking a set of principles, a set of values, any more seriously than it does. These are values that have been part of UC Berkeley forever, in part because UC Berkeley is a public university. Those values include things like beyond yourself. Beyond yourself. Do you have a sense of stewardship for something beyond just you and your career? We look for that. That's part of how we do admissions. It's fundamental to what this place is about. All of us have worked for people that when we know that they're trading wholly on their own account, it's very hard to follow a person like that at the end of the day. So beyond yourself is part of what leadership is made of. Another principle we take very seriously is question the status quo. This mindset, there's got to be a better way to do this. This group has that. It's a really important part of advancing society, whether in finance or otherwise. And boy, if that kind of mindset isn't what UC Berkeley is about, I don't know what UC Berkeley is about. Question the status quo. A third one, confidence without attitude. Confidence without the attitude. True confidence comes without arrogance. We do not need overconfidence in our financial markets and elsewhere. We don't always get this right, but I promise you we take it seriously. And a fourth one, students always. Learning not just when learning is easy, but learning when learning is hard. Will you know at the end of your career, and will the people who work for and with you know, that you have some feedback to hear? You still have some learning to learn, even at the end of your career. Okay, these are some of the things that are part and parcel of this program on top of all that knowledge and all that capability that sits before me. And then finally, for the students, I will say it is a lifelong relationship. Right? This alumni network is going to work for you. It's one of the biggest assets that you are, of course, part of. We need you to be part of that. You will draw much from it over the next 50, 60, 70 years, and we need you to contribute to it. Provide opportunities for other people. They will provide opportunities for you. Stay engaged with the school. If not for the alumni, this would be just a school. It's an institution because we lean into one another as alumni. Be part of that. Congratulations again.
I hope that you can see. Once upon a time, there were 67 nerds that came in herds. The truth is, some of you are not wearing glasses today, but quite a few. We overworked you. No one at Haas had of them heard. We keep them locked up. Parents, we really lock them in a prison studying the whole year. This is at least what your parents think, right? Indeed, they are the best kept secret. But today, ready we are to spill all of their secrets. anxious to get a job on day one of the program. To erase the anxiety, we tell them, please keep up your spirits. Little did we know, their confusion would set in. They took it too literally, and they upped their spirits with a beer, wine, and whiskey. These are the types of emails that we have read throughout the whole year. Happy hour, happy hour, happy hour, nothing else. When they arrive at Berkeley, they have so many ambitions. They want to get a job even before the MFE starts. They want to conquer Wall Street. They want to make lots of money. I actually wonder why, because yesterday, Yilu told us, well, I never keep all my money. I give it to Yilu's wife, Yenyu. Okay. But then with intensity of the MFE, we are very good at crushing your dreams. We make them tired before they make us tired. We do have a bear, as you know. Yes, parents, you pay top dollars for a lot of drinking and snoring. My understanding is that the prize goes to Wante, who slept in the classroom, who slept even at the Toronto International Trading Competition. Something worked out. Who are these MFEs really? They ask the same questions over and over and over again. And I am not making up those questions. But everybody else, it's the same broken record. Everybody wants a job, 5 jobs, not enough. They're unpredictable. After studying for a whole year finance, Maggie wanted a job at Twitter, and ladies and gentlemen, she got it. They do things that no one else would do. Who would really get married in the middle of the MFE in the second term? Catherine Minakov did. She married a Harvard graduate and the Berkeley graduate. And Berkeley is on the left and Harvard on the right. They are forgetful. We actually sent Chad to work as a strat at Morgan Stanley, but instead, he held a class, a course on wine for all the managing directors who actually also forgot why he came in the first place. They act like kids. When you come back from your internship, I don't know why you always ask us, did you miss me? And we say yes, but the truth is, no.
Get along, so now you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for just 1 second, you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now. 'Cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one?
We do transform our students. Who is this person? Before the MFE. Devin. Devin didn't have time to do much, right? After high school, undergrad, straight to the MFE. And it's wonderful. Oh, one of you is here. And he was like this just a few days before studying the MFE. From guitar strings to a PhD in string theory to the MFE where we pulled some strings because he'll be at Goldman Sachs. This is Yuri. What a transformation. And then you also have college dropouts, who says at the end, some students mature fast and dive into the college environment. I was not one of them, says Wildman, etc. And thank you for making sure that my son got an A+ in his class by writing an article on Chad. I don't know if you matured. He posted that picture saying to the class of 2016 that he was selling this bookshelf, and then we found that there was a lot of alcohol. But Chad Wildman is a success story. And he's now the most eligible bachelor in the country. We do transform you. But there are some of them. I gotta pick on somebody, Deb Kumar. The thing is, I met Deb Kumar's wife in the bathroom earlier, and well, she said yes. Make fun of him. Well, the US government actually has been slow in giving actually work permits. So some of you came to the office and said, can you adopt me? And I thought, well, whom could I adopt really? I thought, Woon Kong, then I would have to adopt Emily. Alexandra, I'm not sure. Sid, then I have to get I have to get Deb Kumar, I can't, because they always came together. And then I'm glad I see some of you here today at graduation. A few weeks ago, I thought, where are they? When I understand that there was a Cricket World Cup, no Indian student came to see me for a long time. Oh, by the way, there are also those who rarely showed up to class. Woo! I'm glad we got them here today. Hate to break it to you, but all the time, if you think that your parents were crying when you left the MFE this morning, quite a few of them thanked me for keeping you busy. So think again. They were very happy. They said that you spent this year at Berkeley. And they were laughing, so I don't know. But I'd like to quote Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No, try not. Do or do not. There is no try.
And this class does it all. Thank you. It was a privilege again to have you. And now we're about to give many awards. The truth is, everyone deserves an award. We're going to first award the Rotman International Trading Competition certificates, which arrived just yesterday. Simon Ha, can you come, please? I know.
Should I go?
Way.
Oh,
Whoops.
sorry.
Thank you. It's going to be a long. I'm going to have them in here so that. Eddie Cow. Oops. I don't know if I should have it.
Thank you.
Ooh, I think I gave the wrong one. It wasn't on the Mauchi. What is that? Yeah. Shie. This is yours.
Oh.
Did you get? Thank you. Sorry, I'm going to take a picture. I expected them in an order, so I apologize. Wante, Tanya Gupta, Yi Lu, and Tong Lu. You can all come one after another.
Thank you.
Okay, all come. Let's have the entire team together. Tanglu, and then Tanya, and Charles McCutcheon, who led the team. Charles. Yeah. You can just take a picture of all of you. I would like to honor two alumni who have given so much to the program. Emmanuel Vallo and Lee Sun, who interview our applicants, who come and teach, give seminars. Your contributions are enormous, and I'd like to thank you. Please come. Thank you. Dean Lyons talked about our principles, and I'd like to award the Student Always Principal Award goes to Debarshi Basu for her confidence without attitude. Shuang Ji. For working beyond himself, beyond yourself. Stephen Wang. And now I'd like to call Bill Reinfuss to help me give the award to an MBA student. Yes. Ben Cooper, MBA 2015, has taken 5 courses in the MFE program. And for blazing a new trail, would like to award the Question the Status Quo Award to Benjamin Cooper. You're also getting a certificate in financial engineering. Thank you. And since our MFE students question the status quo all the time, we are awarding 3 other awards for Yuri Drobnak, Paz Greenberg, and Devon Nazi. And I would like you to hear what your colleagues, Yuri, Paz, and Devon, have said about you. About Yuri, he will never simply accept something that you present to him unless he understands it completely, inside and out, and knows how and why it ticks. If there was something being done that he didn't approve of, or that he thought was unethical or inefficient, he would make his thoughts known, regardless whether or not it is the accepted way of doing things. For Paz Greenberg, he really marches to the beat of his own drum. For Devon, he will dissect information or recommendations that are given to him and wouldn't blindly follow orders that he didn't believe to be sound. So gentlemen, please come and receive your awards. You have also a prize gift. Oops, this is your. There's a gift attached to the certificate. Before I award the final certificates, for the 2 final awards, I'd like to take the time to honor the memory of an extraordinary woman. MFE 2014 Ekaterina Kate Matrosova, who died tragically a few weeks ago. And these 2 awards are given to honor her memory. We in the MFE community have lost a giant, a woman who had given so much to orphanages in Mexico, in Peru, who dedicated her life to helping others, who worked with each and every student in the MFE 2014, who had a pure smile and who gave so much.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, Ain't no sunshine when she's...
My message to all of you is, as you start your life, remember to have a little bit of Kate, to be bold, to do things for others, because Kate indeed was a wonderful human being. I'm going to ask Lee's son, MFE 2014, who flew from New York, to give the 2 awards now. Lee. During the MFE program, Lee and Kate and other students worked on developing an app for derivatives pricing, built a company, worked on so many projects. The 2 people who are going to receive these awards have received them because we felt in the MFE office that they already have given a lot to the MFE program, but they're also going to be responsible for managing the fund, the scholarship fund, that we have studied to honor Ekaterina, and the prize that will be awarded in 2000 for the class of 2016 will be given to someone who has demonstrated tenacity, leadership, and dedication to others. And I'd like to call 2 students, Catherine Menakov and Child Wildman. And now you're going to hear from MFE 2005, Adam Young, who came to visit San Francisco. So we told him, hey, come and talk at graduation. He said yes. MFE 15, Catherine Menakov, and MFE 15 as well, the president of the Financial Engineering Student Association, the MFE Association, Simon Ha.
Hi, good morning. Welcome and congratulations to the class of 2015. It's truly an honor to be here today among so many of the best and brightest anywhere. After the intensity of the past year, you deserve a rest and a chance to adjust to the normal speed of life. Believe me when I say that you will never have to work this hard again, ever. It's not that you can't, it's that you will consciously choose not to. The MFE program was the most challenging and rewarding thing that I have done in my life, and I'd like to share a few words of advice for what comes next. Most of you are highly intelligent and highly motivated overachievers. Many are possible perfectionists as well. So don't be afraid to fail. Embrace it. You can learn more from failure than anything else, and it can lead you to enormous success. In case you're curious, pretty much everyone that I can think of from my class of 2005 is a success now, either in life, in business, family-wise, etc. Everyone I know. So. Secondly, stay humble, but know when to take risks. When the potential upside outweighs the downside, go for it. Being able to judge this is difficult, but the skills you've learned in the MFE program are a crucial part, believe me. And lastly, which I think this has been kind of a theme today, believe in yourself always. Be wary of anyone telling you that this is the way the world works, this is the status quo. Figure things out for yourself. I've been working in mortgage-backed securities for about 10 years. When I first started in, I think, 2004, 2005, everybody knew that real estate never goes down. That was just, everyone knows that. 5 years later, everyone knew that the Fed lowering rates would result in enormous and instant massive inflation. So what is real or what is true is often kind of complicated. The moral, I guess, is trust in yourself, but keep an open mind. Because more often than not, there's more than one right answer, and that answer can change. So congratulations again to the class of 2015, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
We've had a great year. It's gone by very quickly, and we learned a lot while we were here, both from the faculty and each other. One of the biggest strengths of this program is in building our skills in quantitative finance while working together in groups, and it's been a wonderful experience to learn and work with fellow students on numerous projects. As we finish the MFE and embark on exciting careers, it's important that we keep our ties to the program and with each other. The stronger our ties, the stronger the reputation of the MFE and its global impact. Now as graduates, we're part of a whole network of MFEs. Graduates of this prestigious program are already managing directors and founding their own financial firms. This is quite amazing for a program that has only been in existence since the early 2000s. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the strong support of the faculty here at Berkeley, as well as instructors who are very well known in the financial industry. We would also like to extend our thanks and appreciation to the MFE office for their amazing work and dedication throughout the year. Despite how busy they have been, they work tirelessly around the clock to help us and have always been available for advice. Thank you so much for your help throughout the year, Linda, Stephanie, Christina, Diane, Aaron, and Charles. Thank you.
Thanks, Catherine. Okay, MFE 15. I know you guys. Oh, come on. I know you guys are really happy. This might be the last time I'm going to give you a long and boring, outrageous speech as the president of FISA and the Students Association. Bear with me, 5 minutes, it will be done. And okay, I'm going to give you something more motivational, make you happy. Tomorrow is going to be a new start. Every one of you with a dream, make it happen at whatever cost. Remember I told you that line a year ago. You may have to beg and borrow to get it done, but do not steal that. That is for you to work out how it actually works. We need to discover the art of pure capitalism. A cold-blooded sport, but a fair one. Our future is exciting, it's difficult, but it is fun. First, you need to aim beyond what you are capable of. You must develop a complete disregard for where your abilities end. If you think you're incapable of running a hedge fund, make that your aim, sorry. If you think you're unable to work for Goldman Sachs, make that your aim. If you think you're unable to be on the cover of Time magazine, make it your business to be there. Nothing is impossible. Oh, shoot. It is impossible for me to hold his head. Yes, you may fail a couple of times during the process, but the person who doesn't make mistakes is unlikely to create anything. Think about the founding father of this country, Benjamin Wright. He's in the 100 bill all the time. Yes, the motto of this class is, we all love Green Benjamin. And failure and false starts are precondition to success. You need a positive attitude when you make mistakes. When you feel being cheated, think about making money and the Green Benjamin. They are really honest and fair. When you feel lonely, think about us. Think about Linda, our tiger sister. We will stand by one another. By the way, no one will ever be allowed to fail while another succeeds. Unity is strength. We will be one class, one family. I want you to live your life with dignity and a Green Benjamin. Walk the world with dignity and a Green Benjamin. And live your life as a champion. Congratulations, MFE 15. Oh, hold a sec. By the way, Berkeley MFE will always be the best MFE program under the sun. Oh no, across the universe. Thank you.
And now I'd like to call Christina Henry for the awards for the two students who scored all A's in the program.
Well, as you know, this is a very talented group of students, so these two awards are made all the more special by the fact that these are awards specifically for academic achievement. We have the valedictorian award, which is for the person who has had the highest GPA at the end of the third quarter, and then the salutatorian award, which is the person who had the second highest GPA at the end of the third quarter. Both of these people worked extremely hard to achieve these GPAs, and we'd like to recognize them as such. So with no further ado,
I'd like to call our salutatorian Yuri Dropnov. valedictorian Stephen Yao Sang Huang.
Chad Wildman and Shuang Ji, are you going to come and talk and present the Chait Awards?
Hello, everyone. We really would like to take a moment here to recognize just the superb quality of instruction that we have received here. We're going to speak first about the GSI, that's the Graduate Student Instructor. So between Shuang and myself, we've spent a considerable amount of time in universities, and as such, we certainly recognize good GSI work when we see it. And the individual, this process was long. It was extremely difficult to choose. We have had great assistance our entire time during the program. This particular person stood out to us. The entire class came together and chose this person. I personally, in all of my years in academia, have never seen someone so dedicated to helping us, to preparing classes ahead of time, detailed lecture notes, really the extra mile, the whole 9 yards. So we would like to present the Chait Award for Haas GSI to Raymond Leung.
Raymond is teaching at this time, unfortunately.
See? Exactly.
So we will give it to him later.
Okay.
The Berkeley MFE is phenomenal for many reasons. One particular strength we have is our curriculum, which is well known for being super informative, intense, and most importantly, for being well balanced between theory and application that lays a solid foundation for the students. And these are achieved by our faculty. To recognize their excellent teaching and significant contribution, every year we give the Chait Award to one professor chosen by the students. And every year, this is a very difficult task to complete. Because each of our professors deserves an award, they're all extremely knowledgeable, responsible, and they care a lot about the students. Yet, each of them has something unique to offer.
Indeed, the quality of the faculty is one of the most important features of the Berkeley brand. We can't stress enough how fortunate we were to be trained by cutting-edge researchers, respected professionals in the industry, just really wonderful faculty. What is done here isn't simply to convey what is known to us, it's to physically push back the boundaries of what is currently known. And every single faculty member has made a unique and lasting contribution to shaping us for the future. And we really cannot stress enough how difficult it was to narrow it down to just one person. Every single faculty member in this program that we've interacted with deserves an award.
So after 3 rounds of voting, you see how hard this is. We decide this year's Chait Award goes to Laurent Al-Ghawi.
Good morning. I think it's actually maybe afternoon by this time, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me congratulate you, as everyone else has today. My name is Jason Shoup, and it's my distinct pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker today, Suni Hartford. I graduated from the Berkeley MFE program in the spring of 2006. I was recruited out of the program by Terry Benchwalt, and I joined Citigroup in the following summer. I've been there ever since. I now run Citi's U.S. investment grade credit strategy group. When I started at Citi, our speaker today was actually my boss's boss, as it happens. She was the head of global fixed income research. Prior to that role, Suni was the co-head of Citi's fixed income capital markets origination business for nearly a decade. She joined the bank in 1993, is now is a managing director, and is now Citi's regional head of markets for North America. In that capacity, she oversees sales, trading, and the origination business in North America, which by itself would probably rank as a Fortune 100 company, I suspect. In addition to her current responsibilities, Suni is a member of the Citi's Pension Plan Investment Committee and a director of the board of Citibank Canada. Suni is also the co-head of Citigroup's Global Women's Initiative, Citi Women. And for a number of years, Businessweek magazine has recognized her as one of the 25 most powerful women in finance. 2006 was something of an auspicious year to start working for a major U.S. bank. When I began at Citigroup, the business cycle was already showing signs of fatigue, but very few people had any idea what would happen next. At that time, I distinctly recall Citigroup's critics chastising the bank for being poorly integrated, a behemoth, the stock price languishing, and very little professional or ethical culture that was evident to those on the outside looking in. In some respects, I would say that the credit crisis proved many of those critiques right. And yet, I think it was Rahm Emanuel who said something to the effect, "Don't let a good crisis go to waste." And I've never had the privilege of serving in our nation's armed forces, but I imagine that anyone who heads into battle or goes through the Berkeley MFE program, as I know, is transformed by the process. And it was much the same with Citigroup. In March of 2009, Citigroup's stock traded below $1 per share. Belief in Citigroup as an institution was not very high, as you can imagine. But Suni, our speaker today, believed. She was one of our key leaders in that crisis. She was in the trenches, and she was one of the folks who really instilled the idea that Citigroup would not just survive, but it would thrive afterward. Citigroup emerged as a stronger institution with an identity rooted in its ability to endure and overcome the worst macro environment since the Great Depression. Much credit, I think, deserves to be given to Suni for her effective leadership during such a trying period. We are fortunate today to hear speak someone who truly values the lengths that you've gone to in furthering your education and investing in yourself. As we discovered at Citigroup, the most valuable asset at a bank is its employees, their expertise and their perseverance. As I've gotten to know Suni a bit over the years, one thing that's obvious is that she hates to watch someone who's talented walk out the door. Whether it's an MD or an analyst, she is always there to find a new and challenging experience for that person. Her charitable spirit extends well beyond the walls of Citigroup. Suni serves on the board of directors at the Forte Foundation, is on the MBA advisory board at the Tuck School at Dartmouth, where she received her MBA in 1988, and recently joined the board of the Friends of the Hudson River Park. In addition, her support of the veteran community is truly exemplary. Suni serves on the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Veterans Employee Advisory Council, is involved with Michelle Obama's Joining Forces initiative, and is a founding member of Veterans on Wall Street. And perhaps my favorite biographical tidbit about Suni is she has undergraduate degrees in physics and math. She too is a quant from Denison University, and has often expressed a desire to teach. I was a high school student teacher before I joined the MFE, and I have degrees in math and physics as well, so it's very close to my heart. Please join me in welcoming Suni Hartford to the stage.
Wow. Thank you, Jason. Thank you all, ladies, gentlemen, faculty, Dean Lyons. I am so honored to be here with you today, and I am especially privileged to say congratulations to all of you for quite an incredible accomplishment. And in case you have anybody that argues with you, the MBA, 2 years, nothing like what you guys have accomplished. Just for the record, I'll give you that one. So I envy you the journey you're about to take. I actually remember it well. I remember the nervous excitement of graduation, nervous about the future, excited about tonight's activities. I hope you guys are gonna have a good time. Sounds like from the slideshow, you're all set there, and you'll be well set. I remember a feeling of immense freedom, right? The book that had yet to be written. I was a career changer when I went back to my graduate school degree, and the whole world was before me, and I had no idea how big that world could be. So I said, I envy you that. I also remember the pride my parents felt when I got through it. and the pride they felt when I actually had a job, which I understand either all of you do or are about to do, and you've got a 100% placement record here at Haas, so congratulations for that as well. As fresh as my memory of that day is, almost 30 years ago, I too know how your parents are feeling. As my eldest heads to college in the fall, 18 years of angst come to a head with all the fear that comes with the love and care for a child. Anxieties about their future, our hopes and dreams about where their life will lead them. And I wonder how many of you 20, 25, 15 years ago actually thought that that would lead your children to Wall Street. There's an old story about two circus performers. The strong man and the bearded lady, they fall in love. They get married and are soon overjoyed to be having a baby. The ringmaster is very excited to hear this news. And upon hearing it, he asks them if they are hoping for a boy or a girl. Classic response, "It doesn't matter," they reply, "as long as they're healthy." And they fit out of the canon. We all have our expectations for our children, who they will be, what they will do, and as I understand it, almost 100% of you are celebrated or headed in some way into financial services. So lest you be caught up in what the media or Capitol Hill is saying about the financial services industry, I'd like to speak for just a minute about the financial sector's role in the larger economy, more specifically how Wall Street and Main Street work together, need each other, and in fact could not function without each other. You've all invested heavily in your degree in financial engineering, and so appreciate the crucial role that finance plays in everything that we do every day. Unfortunately, many people don't, and worse, some even not only misunderstand it, but want to ascribe some kind of sinister approach to what we do in financial services. To some extent, that's to be expected, rightly or wrongly, and I believe the truth is a little bit of both. People blame the banks for the lion's share of what led to the financial crisis. The crisis remains a fresh memory, and many of its after effects are still with us, from settlements of legacy issues, we know it, in the press all the time with negative news. They keep us in the headlines, and the uneven recovery from the Great Recession, of course, adds to that angst. But despite the volatility in the court of public opinion, the financial services industry is essential to growth and innovation. In fact, if you looked at a very long-term growth chart, one going back centuries, what you'll see is a line that is mostly fat and very low until about 1700, which was more or less when the modern finance system took the outlines of its present shape. And from that point on, the line shoots upward. Even so, the industry is often on the defensive. Nearly all people intuitively know that in their personal lives, they need a bank. We all need a place to safeguard our money, put our paycheck, from which to pay our bills. Beyond these basic necessities, however, few think about what banks do, and in fact do for them. Borrowing and lending enable the building, buying, selling, and improvement of homes. The creation of and funding of jobs depends decisively on bank lending. Food on our tables wouldn't get there without finance. Well, if it did, we'd grow it ourselves, so. The impact that the financial services industry has goes well beyond the basics of our homes, jobs, and daily necessities. In fact, there's virtually no aspect of modern life that is not improved by virtue of finance. From schools to roads and airports, to financial instruments such as life insurance, the innovations that help make life exciting, none of it would be possible in scope, extent, or quality without a modern financial system. Even government at every level, local, state, and federal, depend on the banking system to meet its payrolls, finance its operations, build infrastructure, and so much more. In fact, last year alone, Citi facilitated $600 billion in trade flows for our clients. Billions. About half of that for US domiciled firms or other overseas subsidiaries. When Apple opens a store in South Africa, Caterpillar ships a tractor to Thailand, you could be sure there's a global bank supporting them. And it's not just established companies and multinationals that need these activities. For today's startups, hoping to become tomorrow's giants, sources of early support vary widely, from angel investing to venture capital. All require the capital markets to redeem those investments through initial public offerings and the liquidity provided by the securities markets. Individuals also benefit from the capital markets to fund and grow pensions, retirement accounts, college savings plans, MFE savings plans, and many other vehicles for meeting their financial aspirations. So rest easy, parents. Your children will protect the pensions of your fire, police, and teachers. They will help provide affordable housing, revitalize urban areas, support innovation through venture capital, and provide microfinance loans to the world's determined entrepreneurs. They will identify and measure risks so that they can in turn be managed. Yes, rest easy, parents. Your children are heading off to do great things. Rest easy, graduates. Here at Haas, you've learned much of what you will need to know to do these things. You've learned about fixed income, currency and equity markets, studied macroeconomics, derivatives, term structure dynamics, insurance products, risk management. Any lacking technical knowledge that you have will be acquired through practical application once you're on the job. Yes, rest easy, graduates. You will be successful in your jobs. But there is so much more that you can be. Is it enough to just be successful in your job? Because successful in your job is not necessarily successful in your career. And successful in your career is not necessarily successful in life. If we can agree that what you have learned here gives you a 95% confidence interval that you will be successful in your job, let's talk about the two things that I believe are requisite for success in one's career. First, you must enjoy your work. You will spend upwards of 12 hours a day working. Again, nothing compared to what you've done, but sometimes 18 hours, 20 hours, 24 hours if anybody's an M&A. So it is best that you enjoy the work that you do. Second, you must grow as a person while you are growing as an employee, ever expanding your universe, your interests, your contributions, and your following among your peers. So how does one enjoy a job? By definition, you'd rather be on a beach somewhere, right? Well, we tend to enjoy doing things that we're good at. As I've already noted, I think we've been covered with the MFE. Haas has done you well. You're going to be good at what you do. So we tend to enjoy doing things if we are doing them with people we like. I trust that you have chosen employers because of the culture and the people that you'll be working with, and that you will enjoy them. And we tend to enjoy things that are interesting. It's human nature to be curious. Even the most mundane of acts can be made interesting with a little creativity. But financial services and creativity are not typically words that go together. Lending is the core activity of banking. It's also pretty boring. It's not quite the fuel that drives the global economy. That would be human talent and initiative. But it's the oil that keeps the machinery running smoothly. There's so much more to it than that. The global economy is big, it's sprawling, it's complex, and it's multifaceted. It takes financial products and services well beyond just lending to service it properly. And it takes financial companies of all shapes, sizes, scale, and scope. And I might add, talented financial engineers. Perhaps not an industry that jumps out at you as when you think about innovation, but creativity and innovation is key in financial services. You've learned it here. Time and again, we've seen new technologies fundamentally disrupt existing markets, creating new ones. Digital technologies have eroded traditional value across many industries, including music sales, video rentals, travel books, newspapers. Incumbent businesses have either transformed or become marginalized. According to our analysis, digital disruption in these industries resulted in a 30% average revenue decline over the entire industry, 44% share shift from physical to digital business models in just a 10-year period. The world's industries must innovate, and the financial services industry is no exception. While some businesses have suffered, consumers have benefited from a substantially better value proposition. Who remembers walking to the end of the driveway for the newspaper to learn about the day's events? And certainly no one in the front rows. Anybody up there, maybe with me, right? How about today's weather? We literally used to wait for the weatherman to come on and tell us what the weather was going to be that day. I myself watched the entire 9th season of Bones yesterday en route from London to San Francisco at 35,000 feet. Right? I changed my return flight home on my iPhone in the car on the way here. And on my way back to the airport, I'll be uploading my son's recent school play performance for his grandparents' enjoyment on their Facebook account. This innovation and resulting convenience extends to and through this financial services industry as well. We've moved well beyond the ATM and direct deposit, though I will tell you, those were a big deal in their day. When was the last time you entered a bank branch to do your personal banking? And for the students in the audience, have you ever entered a bank branch to do your personal banking? My daughter hasn't. She's been working for 4 years. She's got a paycheck. She's never been in a branch. She takes a picture, away it goes. All right? 85% of cities' consumer service requests are satisfied in a digital, automated fashion without any human intervention. On the corporate side, we've been mobile and tablet payment solutions available in 90 markets around the globe to allow CFO and treasurer clients the convenience of moving money anywhere, at any time, wherever they happen to be. In fact, on an average day, Citi moves $3 trillion in business and institutional financial flows, $9 trillion on a good day. That's more than half of the US GDP in one day, right? The rate of growth is incredible. Our mobile product processed over $450 billion in mobile payments in 2014, quadrupling growth from 2013. And the markets business? Citi Velocity trading platform packs everything a trader needs, all the data flows, research, collaboration, real-time trading capability into a mobile phone. One of the most demanding technology environments, characterized, as you know, by multiple monitors, content feeds, zero latency required, we've launched a mobile solution that fits all into a 4-inch screen. Built in our lab and launched last December, the platform is already averaging over 2 billion per week in trading flows. Data analysis, information screening, heat maps, interactive research. My most profitable FX trader, ladies and gentlemen globally, is a computer. True. The industry is constantly in need of new ideas, new experiences, new expectations. This is an industry that abounds in the need for creativity while mired in the centuries of, but it's been always done this way. So go for it. Think new, think different. The industry needs you. So second, you must grow as a person while you are growing as an employee, ever expanding your universe, your interests, your contributions, and your following among your peers. The ultimate goal then would be to learn so much, contribute so much, and achieve so much that you are asked to lead those that would follow. Okay, great, so how do you do that? Actually, the growth part is easy. You will grow because you will continue to learn. For all that you know, there is so much that you don't. As you leave here in the world of books and internships and advisors, the world becomes your classroom. You learn from your experiences. You will learn from peers, colleagues, competitors, from your bosses, your partners, your subordinates. You will learn that real life is rarely true to theory, and that markets rarely do that which models portend. So you will grow. But will you lead? Just as you will learn, our industry learned a great deal during the financial crisis, and we learned more than the shortcomings of VAR analysis and the importance of stress testing. We learned that doing things a certain way because that's the way that's always been done is a mistake. We learned that accepting someone else's judgment without doing our own due diligence is a big mistake. And we learned that doing our jobs without care and interest in what others were doing was a huge mistake. And so, just as you will change with time as you learn, the financial services industry has changed given its own life lessons. And I stand here before to tell you that the most critical lesson we learned was the importance of leadership, the importance of ethical leadership. Leadership is a tricky thing. It means different things to different people. To some, it means having the greatest market share or highest ranking on a product league table. To others, it means having the hottest stock or the highest PE ratio. Still others will tell you that they are leading if they are sitting at the top of an org chart. But one thing on which we can all agree is that in 2007, the financial services industry was lacking leadership. Leadership to challenge the status quo and the accepted norm of what we've always done it that way. Leadership to innovate and find better, more efficient ways to do things. Leadership to take ownership of mistakes. Leadership to adopt a long-term view in a short-term world. Leadership to stand up against behaviors that are not consistent with the high moral and ethical standards of your industry. Leadership to demand change within a culture that is not consistent with the high morals and ethical standards that we set for ourselves. Anyone can be a leader. One of the greatest mistakes that corporate America makes, I think, is to presume that leadership is synonymous with management. It is not. Management, by definition, is the act or art of managing, the conducting of supervision of something. Leadership, by definition, flows from the core of a personality. In its essence, leadership in an organization involves 1, establishing a clear vision, 2, sharing that vision with others so that they will follow willingly, 3, providing the information, knowledge, and methods to realize that vision, and 4, coordinating and balancing the conflicting interests of all members and stakeholders. A leader comes to the forefront in case of crisis and is able to think and act in creative ways in difficult situations. Looking at that definition, you will note there is nothing in there about org chart or responsibility for individuals or for management of any kind, because you don't have to be a manager to be a leader. You'll get no argument from me that management provides a platform from which to lead. It makes it easier, you're more visible to do it. But as soon as you walk in the door, you can lead. The big difference, management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. Anyone can be a leader. Do any of you expect to start your job in a management role? Exactly, right? But every one of you can lead. There's a well-known story about a young girl walking along the beach one day when she comes upon hundreds of starfish washed upon the shore, surely doomed to die unless they can get back into the water. She reaches down, picks up a starfish, throws it as far as she can into the waves. A man standing nearby watches her and says, "You know, there are too many of them. You'll never make a difference." She regards the man, slowly leans down, picks up another starfish, and as she did before, throws it as far as she can into the ocean. "I made a difference to that one," she says. What is leadership? Do you know it when you see it? Yes, I think you do. Many of you worked before you got here. You know your bosses that you used to have, the ones you respect, the ones you liked, the ones that inspired you to follow them regardless of how late it was or how early you had to get in the next day to do your job. That's leadership, it's not management. I like to think there's an addendum to the story of the starfish, and it goes something like this. The little girl moves on down the beach, sad that she couldn't save more starfish, but proud of herself for the 2 that she did save. And a number of other people who had observed this dialogue between the little girl and the man started to stand up. Inspired by her actions, they moved forward too, each picking up a starfish and throwing it into the ocean, and thereby saving it, right? For that is what true leadership does: sets an example, stands up to opposition, inspires others, and leverages individual efforts to greater collective good, not for personal benefit, but because it's the right thing to do. Leadership by any other name is courage. Courage to challenge the status quo, which I'm so thrilled to hear so often today. Your principles are spot on. Courage to lead by example without asking others to do that which you will not do for yourself. Courage to put others on your team first. Courage to admit that you don't know everything. You know a lot. You don't know everything. Courage to speak up if you see something that doesn't feel right. And as you grow in your jobs, courage to be inclusive, seeking views different from your own. Courage to share credit to ensure that everyone's efforts are recognized. Courage to be proactive, not reactive. It is not someone else's problem. It's yours. And the courage mostly to be true to yourself. You can and should learn, grow, and improve, but do not try to do something that you are not. When your values are clear to you, making decisions become easier. Live for them. Anyone can lead, and yet not everybody does, because it takes courage to do these things, and not everyone has courage. Will you lead? There's no shortage of managers in this world. What we need are leaders at every level of every organization. From the moment you walk in the door of wherever you are headed, I challenge you to lead. Set a good example. Be kind to everyone you work with. When you walk in the door every day, I promise you, you will pass a security guard, right? Will you walk past? Or will you smile and say good morning? Better yet, will you stop on that first day and introduce yourself, and thereafter say good morning by exchanging names and pleasantries? Think broadly and about the repercussions of your actions. If you see something wrong, do something about it, and always, always be true to yourself. So take what you have learned here at Haas and be successful at your job. Enjoy what you do, learn along the way, and be successful in your careers. And when given the opportunity to do more than those things, step up and do so. Lead and be successful in your life. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. One of the traditions of the Berkeley MFE graduation ceremony is the announcement of the prize for the Best Applied Finance Project, sponsored by Morgan Stanley. In addition to recognition as the best project, the award includes a $5,000 cash prize to be shared amongst the members of the winning team. Now, for the parents who may not know much about this project, a little bit of an introduction. The MFE final project is a required course for graduation in lieu of a master's thesis. During their final term, the students work in teams of 3 in MFE 230, for which they perform independent research under the guidance of a Haas faculty member, with the objective of extending the body of financial engineering knowledge and culminating in a comprehensive paper and final presentation. After a preliminary round of project presentations this Monday and Tuesday, the course co-instructor Matt O'Hara and I narrowed the field to 3 finalist teams, who yesterday had the opportunity to present their projects to a judging panel consisting of members of the MFE Advisory Board. Before announcing the winner, I'd like to take a moment or 2 or 3 to recognize each of the 3 finalist teams. By order of group number, which is also the order in which they presented yesterday, they are Team 3, Yuri Drobnak, Chad Wildman, and Ryan Zamani for portfolio choice under dynamic correlation models, advised by Professor Johan Walden. Team 3's project investigates the implications of time-varying correlations between asset prices for portfolio management. They implement a Garch-based model for correlation fluctuations and then develop and apply a least squares Monte Carlo approach to evaluate the impact on the multi-period investment problem. Parents, we're going to quiz you on this afterwards. Team 6, Ryan Green, Devin Knutze, and Irene Oyemoka for a Bayesian mixture model for mortgage prepayment, advised by Professor Nancy Wallace. Team 6 implements an approach that permits the identification of residential mortgage populations with distinct prepayment behavior. They then apply a sophisticated Bayesian Markov chain Monte Carlo technique to estimate the parameters of their model. Finally, they apply their methodology to the pricing of dollar roll transactions in the TBA mortgage market. Third team is Team 12, so it's a geometric progression. Yi Lu, Mao Chi Wang, and Stephen Yaotsung Wang for mortgage termination forecast, a regularized multinomial logit model with time-varying and path-dependent factors, advised by Professor Richard Stanton. Team 12's project applies a careful parsimonious parameter selection approach to the joint modeling of default and prepayment events for residential mortgages across several US regions. They are not only able to reproduce observed behavior in and out of sample, but also show that their methodology obviates the need to assume ex-ante baseline event functions. The finalist papers were evaluated on criteria of innovativeness, technical excellence, real-world relevance, and presentation skills. The judges acknowledged the quality of the final presentation, so I would ask you for a round of applause for our finalists. Yeah, why not? After a close debate, the judging panel was able to reach a consensus on a winning team, who are Team 12 for mortgage termination forecast. There we go. You guys come on up and get your, Congratulations again to Team 12. In closing, I would like to thank all of the members of the MFE class of 2015 for their hard work on their final projects, the faculty members who advised the students on their papers, the MFE office for their support, and Matt O'Hara, MFE 03, for his partnership in managing and evaluating 22 distinct projects. And now I get to hand the podium back to Linda Kreitzman and John O'Brien, who will initiate the conferral of degrees.
Thank you, Eric. Glad I didn't have to use all those big words. Well, now we're at the magical moment. Finally, you will get your degrees. Almost all the speech making is over. You get a chance to stand up and walk and get the degree you worked so hard to achieve. And I'm going to assist that very energetic and admirable and effective executive director of our program, someone you've all spoken so highly of, and we all honor for the effort and the effectiveness of that effort, not only in organizing the program, but in the very important thing that you're about to receive, not only the degree, but the job. And I must tell you, I've never seen anybody work harder to help you students get a job than our beloved executive director, Dr. Linda Kreitzman. When this is over, I'm going to ask her to get me one. So now if you line up, we'll have the conferral of degrees.
Ryan Davis. Leonor Shaban. Philippine Dufeu de la Motte. Mochi Wang. Stephen Wang. Yi Lu. Irende Ojimoga. Devin Knutze. Ryan Green. Simon Xie He. Catherine Minikov. Ryan Zamani. Yure Drobnak. Chad Wildman. Will the second row please stand? Hotaka Ishii. Chaivit Prakarn Pilard. Panu Pruktayanan. Naichi Wang. Wante Cho. Jaewoo Jung. Prita Ratana Sopanchai. Xiao Tian Lu. Shuang Ji. Sammy Oeda. Alexandra Kurutzi. Haris Halvatsis. Cherith Gamash. Michael Perry. Trey Huffine. Irene Chu. Wei Hua Cao. Will the third row please stand? Yukun Zhang. Young Fan. Zekai Lee. Ye Gao. Apurv Vajpayee. Vibhav Kumar. Nishant Kachawa. Abhijit Gite. Maggie Chen. Deb Kumar Day. Rachit Agarwal. Tanya Gupta. Accompanied by Aryan. Hardik Ramani. Akil Kungur. Debarshi Basu. Sonam Goenka. Please stand. Eric Subert. Paz Grimberg. Sandeep Mehta. Siddhartha Gupta. Ratin Asana. Vamchi Sapiti. Taoran Ma. Hao Wu. Lei Chai. Tong Lu. He Ren. Huiying Li. Okay, will the fifth row please stand? Xinyan Liu. Alice Leng. Shreyansh Jain. David Pura. Nicolas Coiffard. Sachin Arora. And Runsong Liu.
For you sports fans out there, this is your official 2-minute warning. We're almost there. But every New Year's Eve in New York's Times Square, as the ball drops, the people in the crowd all begin to sing, New York, New York. And in part it goes like this: if I make it there, I can make it anywhere. And our MFE version is, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And you have made it here. Now it's up to you to make it somewhere. As the Nike commercial says, now just do it. No more talk. As was mentioned earlier, you came here from 17 different countries. Some of you will return to the country you came from. Some will stay here in the U.S. Others will go to yet a third country. Whatever you do, of course, is your choice. And when you do it, you add another node to the global alumni of not only Berkeley and Haas, but of the MFE. And as Linda said earlier, this is the 14th graduation. So we're still the little guy in the block. But with your entry into the alumni, we begin to approach 800. And so that's a great beginning. I hope I'm here to see the 1,000th, which should be the class after next. I hope you stay in touch with each other and help one another in your careers, as the prior classes have done. And I hope you'll keep in touch with us and try to help us make this MFE program continue to be the best in the world. But as you leave and start your own career, I think it's useful to think about what the 26th President of the United States had to say at the Sorbonne in Paris shortly after he left office, 105 years ago, almost to the day. And since I garble my English on occasion, we're going to actually show it as well as my try to present it. Well, maybe we won't show it.
Yep, you had it. It was on the screen.
Oh, done? Oh, it's not there. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I don't have eyes in the back of my head, so I'm not making this up. I'm actually reading it. This is what Theodore Roosevelt said. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man has stumbled or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But the credit belongs to he who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither knew victory nor defeat. Words, I think, have great meaning, even after 105 years. Well, now we're going to say adieu, but since I don't speak French, we're going to have to do it in English. And since I am Irish, we'll do it in Irish English without the brogue. But it's the Irish blessing, which we send our friends away with. It goes like this. May the road rise up to meet you, the wind be ever at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, the rains fall softly on your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Goodbye. Go Bears!